Have you ever inherited something you wished you hadn't? I thought I'd hit the jackpot when my great-aunt left me her Victorian house. 3 stories, original hardwood floors, and completely paid off. The only catch was a handwritten list of rules taped to the refrigerator. Rule number 1. Never open the basement door after sunset. Rule number 2. If you hear knocking after 3 in the morning, do not answer the door. Rule number 3. The mirror in the upstairs bathroom must remain covered between midnight and dawn. I laughed as I read them, imagining my eccentric aunt crafting these superstitions in her final years. Nothing more. I lasted exactly 4 days before breaking the first rule. The basement door had been calling to me since I arrived. Heavy oak with iron hinges, it looked older than the house itself. On Thursday evening, curiosity finally won. The sun had set an hour ago as I turned the brass handle and descended the creaking stairs. The basement was empty except for a single wooden chair facing the far wall. But the wall itself made me freeze. Scratched into the stone were thousands of tally marks. Someone had been counting something for a very, very long time. I ran back upstairs and found rule number 1 had changed. Now it read, never open the basement door after sunset. You have been warned. My hands shook as I read the faded ink. The handwriting was identical, but I knew those words hadn't been there before. I checked the other rules. They remained unchanged. That night, at a little past 3 in the morning, the knocking began. Soft at first, then louder. 3 knocks, pause. 3 knocks, pause. I decided I had to check. I went to the door, opened it slightly, but nobody was there. The knocking stopped. When morning came, rule number 2 had been updated. If you hear knocking after 3 in the morning, do not answer. You have been warned. Fear crept into my bones like winter cold. I considered leaving, but where could I go? This house was my only asset and my fresh start. I decided to follow the rules from then on. For 2 weeks, I obeyed every instruction. I covered the bathroom mirror each night with a thick towel. I let the knocking go on without answering. As I settled into a routine, the house felt calmer, almost grateful. Then my sister visited. Emma arrived on a Saturday full of excitement about my inheritance. She laughed at the rules just as I had, calling them the ramblings of a lonely old woman. Despite my protests, one night we were up until midnight talking. She went to the bathroom and uncovered the mirror to take her makeup off. I heard a scream. Running to Emma, she stood terrified, pointing at the mirror. We both looked at it. The reflection that stared back wasn't Emma's. The face in the mirror had Emma's face, but wrong proportions. Eyes too wide, smile too broad, movements slightly delayed like a poor video connection. The reflection's lips moved differently, forming words Emma wasn't speaking. I grabbed her arm and yanked her away from the mirror, quickly covering it again. She remained stunned at what she witnessed, and we both struggled to fall asleep. The next morning, rule number 3 had been updated. The mirror in the upstairs bathroom must remain covered between midnight and dawn. You have been warned for the last time. Emma left that morning, shaken, in disbelief, but not able to process what she saw. What was it? A hallucination? Something darker? I tried to reassure her, but to no success. That night, I understood the truth. The rules weren't protecting me from something outside. They were protecting the outside world from what lived within these walls. Each rule violation weakened whatever barrier my great-aunt had maintained for decades. The tally marks in the basement weren't counting days or years. They were counting the things she had kept contained.